Welcome to Como Live, funded by the Minnesota Legacy Amendment. I'm Jeremy Gavard, one of the horticulturists here at Como. Today I'm in the Palm Dome. I'm going to talk about a few of the unique palms that I really like. Here in the Palm Dome, we have a lot of the common palms that you'd see growing, say, in Florida or along roads in California. But we also have some really unique things that are worth pointing out. Next to me is the coconut palm that a lot of people are familiar with. It's a really pretty palm, very characteristic. It is a feather palm. Palms come in a couple different flavors, fan palms and feather palms. Palms are a really diverse family. They're in the family Ericaceae, and it's about 2,500 different species spread all around the world, mostly in the tropical areas, of course. Palms are only distantly related from the trees that would grow up here in Minnesota. They are monocots, which is a flowering plant family, so they do flower, which you don't usually see. They're not very obvious flowers. I don't know if there are any around here. I have some fruit, some palm fruits. They can be really pretty. These are bright red, off of Camadoria, and a lot of different animals will eat them, and we eat them, of course, the coconut. Palms, we have a handful of native palms in the US. One of those is the sable palmetto, which grows in Florida. That's actually this guy right here. It's a huge fan palm. When it's full grown, it'll reach all the way to the glass, 70 feet up. It's a pretty impressive plant. We use palms for a lot of different things. You might not necessarily think of it because you don't see them growing here, but we eat coconuts and we use coconut oil. Another fruit that comes from the palm is the date, actually. It grows on the date palm, and we can walk over there and look at one. This guy right here is our dwarf date palm. There's quite a few different kinds of dates. We have several. They're really beautiful palms. They're often planted as landscape plants. They grow in the Middle East a lot of times, and they're a super important food crop. They like arid conditions. You can grow them in some spots in California and Florida and places like that. So this is the dwarf date palm here. Other uses that are from palm trees, we make ropes out of palm. You can make material out of palm. Furniture making, actually, the wicker and raffia, your wicker furniture is probably made from a palm. A vining palm, actually. You don't usually think of palms as vining, but they're called rattans, and they can get hundreds of feet long. They're really impressive plants. They have spikes. We don't have any of those here, but we do have a vining Camadoria. This, I'm not sure if it's going to show up super well, but if you can kind of trace it, it's probably at least 20 feet long, but you'll just have to come and see it for yourself. But yeah, vining palms, who knew? They're pretty cool. We also use palms sometimes medicinally. You might see some in your supplements. Saw palmetto is one of those. Another really important industrial use of palm is oil palm production. And I can show you our oil palm over here. This grouping over here is the American oil palm. Most palm oil production is actually the African oil palm, but the American is sometimes used for that too. Most people probably eat palm oil every day without even thinking about it. It's in a lot of processed foods and things like that. It's a huge industry in the tropics right now. Another use for palms is sugar. You can get the sap out of some palm trees. Right next to it is the miniature sugar palm, which is one of those examples with the spiky trunk here. another feather. Unfortunately, even though the oil palm tree is one of the most productive food crops that we have, it can also be one of the most destructive. Palm diversity is threatened right now mostly by land use and habitat loss, and to a big degree the palm oil plantation production is one of those, because that causes a lot of deforestation, which is probably the biggest threat to palm diversity right now. So palm conservation is kind of at a critical point, I would say, because of all this habitat loss, and there's hundreds of palms that are threatened or endangered. So that's why there's such a need for palm conservation right now. One of the ways that Como can help in the conservation effort is by growing some endangered palms or threatened palms, or things that aren't as common in their native habitat, or their native habitat is being cut down for oil palm plantations. Let's go look. I want to show you the queen palm, the baby queen palm actually. That's this one right here, the one with the feathery. It's a really beautiful palm. It's from central Mexico and is a red-listed, critically endangered species on the verge of extinction in the wild. But here you can come see it, and it is a really pretty palm. So here in the Palm Dome, we not only have some of these rare palms, we also have a lot of the common palms. We have some of the palms that you might grow in your own home. They probably look a little different here, but for example, the parlor palm, we might see that a little bit later. The palm family has a lot of the superlatives of the plant world. They have the claim to fame to largest leaf, a raffia species, also the largest seed, the double coconut, fun fact, and the largest flower cluster also belongs to a palm. This group, the Ericaceae family, is super different from the trees you'd see here. Again, it's like it's a monocot, so if you think about it, that's the family that grasses and lilies are in. So to try and fit it in the plant family tree in your head, you can imagine it like a grass that decided to be a tree. That's really more what palms are over the maple trees that grow here. They're really unique plants and in need of conservation. Another really cool palm I'll show you next to this one is the lulu. Lulu palms are from Hawaii. That's this huge fan palm up there. There's a couple different species of lulu. We have two of them here. They're endemic to the Hawaiian Islands, and endemic means they're only found in that one place. And this is one of those. It's only in a few isolated spots in Hawaii. It's threatened, but it's a really beautiful palm. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the palms, the unique and common ones that we have here at the Palm Dome. Hopefully you get the chance to make a reservation and come visit and investigate all the rest of the palms and the understory plants that we have here to offer. So thank you for watching Como Live.